What's poppin', my lyrical heads? Is another episode of Lyrical Minds. My name is Eves, and this is where I get the opportunity to interview various musical artists and dive into their mind to find the true meanings behind their songs. And today, I get to interview Las Vegas native Jag Gatz.
Yes,
What's
sir.
poppin', guy?
What's poppin', bro? How you been?
Bro, living my best life. Because if I ain't living my best life, I ain't living. You feel me?
That's what's up.
I'm like, but how you living over there, bro?
I'm living pretty good, man. Just got a new EP coming out next month, so prepping for that. So I'm excited. It's been a while since I've put out any music, so pretty excited for that and excited to get this started. I really like the platform. The homie Theo introduced me, so
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited. I'm
That's
excited to get it popping.
yeah, man. I'm
Hmm.
happy that you agreed to it. One thing I do like about what you do, you rep Las Vegas heavy.
Hmm.
Like you rep that in your songs. And I appreciate that because as someone who was raised in Las Vegas,
Hmm.
you know, it's my home and like Las Vegas gets slept on when it comes to music.
Definitely.
Like the biggest artist that probably came out is Neo because everyone knows who Neo
Hmm.
is.
Definitely.
And then obviously Drizzy Wright and whatnot.
Hmm.
But why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself? When do you start rhyming? When do you start battle rapping?
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I go by the name of Jag Gatz, Vegas born and raised. I feel like I've been rhyming all my life. That's something like I always fell in love with as a kid. I think the
Yeah.
story I like telling is like I guess like my biggest like instant impact was probably 50. Like that was I was like super young then, but I just remember that image of like Get Rich Die Trying days, and it's just like he had everything. He had the image, he had the girls, he had the money, he had the cars, all that. All of that was just like that's like the goal. That was like the most like amazing thing for me. And I think at that time I was definitely a lot younger. Hip
Yeah.
hop was definitely a lot different at that time. So it was like I always wanted all that and I always wanted to
Mhm.
like be like that, but I felt like it was so far away. It was like never gonna be possible. And then I
Right.
think as I started growing older, then when I probably started like really like finding my space was probably like 09, 10, 11 when I was still like really young, but it was like, that's like blog era. That was probably
Yeah.
like a little bit post Wayne. I think Wayne was really like one of the big ones because I was like I
Oh,
was hearing
definitely.
how lyrical he could get. I was like, shit, I could do that. Like it's a very stereotypical like rapper story. Was like I was like pretty bad at school at like everything except English. English is like I was always solid there. I was like sometimes I was like one of the best, but I was like that was my only strong suit. So when I started realizing how much rap
Uh-huh.
was just like words and just like lyrics and like how much like of it is actually more that than like the other aspects of it. That's when I
Yeah.
really started like getting into it. I think like blog era. That's when Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Sean, Meek,
Yeah.
people like that. They started popping. And it was like I guess for me, it was a little bit more of like my image. I could see that. Obviously, there's still a lot of differences, but like I guess kind
Right.
of like the persona, the like the way
Mhm.
they talked, their attitudes and stuff like that was a lot more of like what I felt like I could bring to the table. So once I had like those two get put together of like what I wanted to do and what I could possibly do, and
Right.
it was like preparation meets the opportunity. So it was like from that moment 9, 10, 11, that's when I really started like taking it serious and I started like rapping every day. And
Okay.
I was kind of like on that wave, probably till for like the next like however many years I was doing that. And then I started like writing, and again it still was like I still got to that that anxiety that I guess probably every artist is going to face when they start coming out is like
Definitely.
how are people going to start feeling when I start dropping, and who's going to be on my side, who's going to start like not with me, stuff like that. So
Right.
a lot of that energy at the beginning. So I think I kept like going through that every summer, and then like when I was 18, I finally just was like, you know what, I'm solid. I felt like I've done my practice, I've done my
Right.
learning on a culture. I know like hip hop, I am hip hop. I
Mhm.
really have something to offer. So that's what I was like, no holds barred. I'm going for it. So when I was 18 is when I first started dropping and started putting out music out. Started taking it seriously. I started, getting my music out on all platforms.
Yeah.
So right now I'm 21, so I've been putting out for about 3.5 years. So this is gonna be my fourth year running, putting out music. So just over that process, that's when I started like,
Mhm.
performing a lot throughout the city. And I think
Right.
that's like, a big thing of what you were talking about of repping Las Vegas. I think like there's one thing to like be from Las Vegas. I also think it's like a big honor to actually like be making music in Las Vegas. Like I
Big
take
time.
big pride. All my music videos are shot here. So it's like there's always like spaces I can go back to. And it's like in 10 years, maybe somebody you can see that spot and oh, I shot a video there and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I try to touch as many venues in the city as possible. I probably probably already touched 20 of them, you know. So it's like, you know, just trying to build that community, especially, you know, we got to have, you know, 100, 200 different, you know, local rap. Just if we just talk hip hop, like
Right.
that's being light, you know. 200 people is being light. So there's that
Hmm.
many people. Like I feel like you know, I've come across and, you know, shook their hand and try to make relationships there, just because I want to see everybody, you know, prosper. I really just want to, if you really, I feel like if you're really about the city, you really just want somebody to like to prosper. It's like
Yeah.
as long as they like not doing any like terrible things, like as long as
Yeah.
they like on the right path,
There's that too.
and like
Yeah.
and like, you know, their music is something you can kind of get behind. I'm down for everybody to, you know, to prosper. So I think that's kind of like my path to this point. So right now, yeah. So over the past, this is my gonna be my fourth year putting out music. You know, I've put out about 20 25 songs so far.
Okay.
I have a full length project. It's called Golden Boy that came out the end of 2020, December 30th, 2020.
Yeah.
So I kind of put that out. You know, I've been pushing that for the last year, and now I'm really getting into my next project. So, you know, today I'm a little bit excited about talk about both, you know, the old and new, and just, you know, kind of be able
Yeah.
to usher in this like this new era.
Oh yeah, man. Golly. So I just somewhat learned that you battle rap. So
Hmm.
when did you start that? Because that's a whole different like lane
Hmm.
of hip hop.
Definitely. You know, I always like, especially growing up, like before I started putting out music, I used to watch battles all the time. You know, I think that's like a really good way to get your pen game up. And like, it kind of
Definitely.
like, as it is, like, I'd say like, you know, all the different like sub genres, if you want to compare it to sports or anything, it's like, you know, there's every sub genre has its own strength. Like, to be a good artist, you don't necessarily have to be like the best at every single one. But I
True.
think learning each part just kind of like grows your skill set. Like if like
Def-
if lyricism was shooting, and then like your melodies was passing, and, you know, your you know, your creativity was your defendants, you know, something like that. You
Right.
kind of have like, you know, different, some people are like the best shooters in the world, you know, they just live by the 3 point line. I think
Yep.
that's like battle rap, you know. These are some of the most like lyrical minds. They're probably more lyrical than most people in the mainstream, but that's because they put all their time into that, all their eggs in that basket. So like for me personally, I like to like think of myself as like the all around player. You know, if we keeping up with that analogy. So like that's kind of like a scratch. I've been itching to scratch. You know, something like just trying to get in the
Right.
battle, get in the ring, because that's something like I've always, you know, been a fan of. And I think a lot of people have always told me, like when I do shows and open mics and stuff, I was really big on I like doing a lot of
Mhm.
acapellas, because I feel like, you know,
Oh yeah.
what I started doing acapellas was for is because some of these venues, we don't have the best sound systems. So if your beat too loud or something, nobody could hear you. And I remember that. I remember that feeling, bro. I'm like trying to keep up, and like nobody could hear me. And it's like sometimes you gotta rap over your like recorded vocals, and I'm like, sometimes that's cool, but sometimes, you know, that don't really give you the feeling you want. So
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, sometimes I like just sticking with my pen and just doing acapellas. And I feel like, you know, only like a select few can do that. Like, and like it
Definitely.
actually hit, because if you're not really saying much and you're doing an acapella, you're gonna do yourself a disservice. You know, that's like you kind of
Definitely.
you may have needed the melody, you may have needed the beat. So like I
You
try
can
to
really you can really like hear the lyrics. It's no just like, oh yeah, this
Mhm.
beat hard as hell.
Yeah.
Nah, fool.
Hmm.
Let me hear you spit. Let me hear them lyrics. So
Definitely.
yeah, most definitely.
Definitely. So then when you have to so when you have to stand behind that, you know, that's kind of like you know, something I started sticking behind. That's kind of like I'm not gonna like be cocky, but like a reputation I kind of got throughout the city was that, you know, I would come to these shows and I do the acapellas, and I do, you know, 100 bars, 200 bars is just like some of my favorite stuff, and I do
Right.
that great. So that's kind of like, you know, a lot of, you know, what I kind of got my footing. And I think we all have to like individualize ourselves in some way. You know, you got to stick out, and I think that's something. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of spitters who do that too, like
Yeah,
really well in the city. But like I like to think I'm one of them, you know, who's like kind of going on that path.
most
So it's
definitely.
actually so actually shout out, like, you know, it's the studio called the Gas Station.
Yeah.
You know, it's run by King Gas. You know, he's a legend in the city for real.
I've
So I
heard of
appreciate. Yes,
them.
most definitely. Shout out to Gas. But, you know, so he started having this opportunity over at the gas station. They called it the Cookout.
Okay.
They did the first edition back in January. You know, it's run by the gas station, you know, Sound Up Media. They got goaded up in there. So, you know, they got a little collective up in there. And it's hosted by, you know, the homie Miles Low. So
Okay.
he the one who you know, hosts the cookout, and we do these rap battles. So yeah, you know, January, New Year, you know, I usually like the New Year, because, you know, you get your energy going, you get your rollouts going. So, you know,
Definitely.
you get your energy going. I'm sure that's what, you know, a lot of other people feel. So they had that event set up. So I saw the promo on Instagram, you know, I was like, oh, I got to get on it.
Yeah.
So then I reached out, you know, try to get my spot, you know, get my name in there. There was like, yeah, you just got to show up. So we did that in January. Funny story about the January one.
What's up?
So like there was actually like on the flyer and stuff, they were saying we was doing 16s. So I was like,
Okay.
okay, so I'm guessing we got like a time limit or something. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like a lot of people coming out because a lot of people was on the flyer, like everybody was interacting. So I was like, so
Mhm.
that's probably what we're doing. So that day itself, I probably wrote, and like I had like a lot of stuff going on,
Right.
and I kind of probably put it off. So like I probably only wrote something that night. I wrote two 16s because like two
Right.
rounds, two 16s. So that's what we're doing. Then I get there and it's like everybody's doing like 64s and stuff. So it's like it's a lot more. So I'm caught off guard. I'll take some ownership. I probably didn't prepare the best. I probably was like, oh, I've performed like, what
Right.
by that time 60 times, 60, 70 times. So I was like, I don't really have, obviously I still get nerves, but I don't have like stage
Mhm.
fright or nothing. Like I know how to perform and stuff. So I
Right.
was like, I got in there a little bit ill prepared. So first round I choke and I forgot a lot of my words. Like I had the first four bars ready and lined up. Those was on my page
Right.
and stuff. And then after that, it's just like it all just starts slipping out of my head.
Right.
I'm trying to catch them and stuff, and it's like I'm like blanking out. So I just didn't my whole 32, whatever pieces I could remember. I did that in the first round. I choked. It was bad. It was rough. So then so then we did that. And then we get into the second round, and then I just, I
Mhm.
pulled in the archives, went with one of my go-tos, what I felt like could like, it's very much
Gotta do
battle
what you
rap
gotta do.
inspired. It's
Yeah.
actually it's on my last project. It's called Raiders Interlude, but like it is like a written song, so it's not what I wanted to do. I don't want to go to a
Right.
battle and just spit a written song, right? So, emergency called. I had to pull that out. Get some of my reputation back. Just so I went through that one. So that was my experience. So then I come home from that battle. I'm feeling pretty disappointed. I was like, damn, I could have put my best foot forward. That one was a pretty packed out house at that point. So I was pretty disappointed. I was like, they was talking about next one. I was like, I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna be prepared.
Yeah, gotta be.
So then yeah, so that was like end of January. So now what we in April? Yeah, so end of April, I go to they also host open mics over at the gas station too. So I
Oh,
went
okay.
to one in like at March, and Gas, he pulls me aside. He's telling me, oh, that we're gonna have another cookout in April. I was like, oh, my gears already start turning. It's like this time I gotta come prepared. So I'm ready. They start doing the promo, putting out the flyer. I sign up, all that is good. And they actually switched it this time. Last time it was like everybody signed up. They had probably like 30 people, 35,
Mhm.
and then like they just pull two names out of a hat and you guys go. So you can't
Oh,
really write about anybody. You just kind of
oh,
like you just gotta bring your best 16. Oh, what I thought was a 16. Bring your best verse and then like
yeah.
spit against whoever. This time we had opponents. I went up against another crazy spitter from the city. His name's Kamikaze. We've known each other.
Mhm.
We've met at a couple other performances and stuff. So this time, I think he told us last Friday, last Saturday maybe. So all everybody kind of had a week for their opponent. So
Okay, that's
this time I came prepared. Wrote
right.
wrote my verses early. Made sure I kind of got them down. Try to be clever. Try to include Kamikaze and
Right.
any
Right.
ways I could. Try to still rap at a high level and still kind of include some shots in there. So
Yeah.
I try to put all that together. So yeah, that was last night. That was my focus all week. I was like, yeah, I'm not working on no new music, nothing. It's battle mode this week. I'm just like, I'm every day I'm just practicing this. I'm making sure I got it down. And then
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
yesterday it went pretty well. A lot of the comments from everybody is like, oh, you got most improved, man. You got most improved. So it was like you came in swinging this time. So I'm feeling pretty good. Still definitely got a lot of ways to go because those are my only two battles, so far. So I still want to exercise, my although I don't want to completely swerve into that lane of being like a full-time battle rapper, which is,
Right.
that's super dope for other people. That's probably not what I want to do. But like I think it's like a muscle to flex. It's like it
Definitely.
keeps me sharp. Like even if I would go back to making songs, just it exercises a different part of the brain. So it went pretty well. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna have another one this summer. So I definitely gotta pop out of that one. But that's
Oh,
that's
definitely.
that's my 2022 battle rap journey so far.
No, man, that's what's up. I'm like somewhere in there. You pretty much said I ain't trying to be cocky.
Hmm.
Nah, fool. Nah, be cocky. Be cocky because I know in your documentary you were
Hmm.
talking about like, yo, you have the mentality like I'm the chosen one. Like
Hmm.
I appreciate that because
Hmm.
in the rap game you gotta have that mentality like, yo, I'm the
Definitely.
shit. No one's really out here with me.
Hmm.
So where did Golden Boy come from? Where did that mindset come from?
Yeah. So I got like a couple different meanings. I think where it started from is like, from the family, I think my parents always knew I was like, I was obsessed with gold, since a kid. So like even
Right.
like the small like baby bracelets and stuff like that. That was like my favorite color. Anytime anybody asks my favorite color, I always say gold, and they give me kind of like a side eye, like, what's he talking about? Like, well, we wanted red or black or blue. Like he came
Nah.
out and said gold, and I was like, that's kind of always been my thing. And then even as I got older, shit, like I had the Xbox, I got like gold stickers, I'd wrap it around it. My mom will tell you this story. We had like this wooden chair, and then I took like this gold aerosol spray paint can, and I spray painted the whole thing. I was like, I'm about to make this my throne. Got some beatings after that, but
Oh
it
hell
it
yeah, I
was
know you
worth
did.
but it was worth it. So then, even my grandmas, everyone, they always kind of called me the golden boy. So that,
Okay.
that was their meaning. They didn't understand what that could mean in like a bigger landscape of being the chosen one.
Right,
So it's
right,
kind of
right,
like bringing the two things together of, kind of like the home heritage of it, and then like so actually, if you can tell, like, I'm Indian, so like a lot of my heritage and my culture, like gold
right.
is like a very holy thing. It's a spiritual thing. Like, all of our whenever we pray to like our gods are made out of like gold statues and stuff like that. It's considered
Right,
like a
right,
very
right.
holy thing. So then, like, I put in all these things together. I was just like, that's my thing. Being called the golden boy is like, I think even like, in terms of
Mhm.
like a business standpoint, I kind of branded like a color. Now people tell me when
Yeah.
they go out, they see a gold car or something that, they gonna start thinking of me, because, I just say gold all the time. My
Right.
record label that, I built is called Jungle Gold Music Group. So, that's, I had to incorporate the gold there. So I just felt like, everything kind of, just lining up. And then, so that as far as the golden, and then golden boy, I think was especially like pertinent to like that point, because, I'm still
Yeah, yeah.
young. I was still really young when I dropped that. I was 20 when I dropped that. So, I was still just talking about like, how I could have this like long way to go. I know I'm gonna still
Yeah.
have some flaws. I'm still gonna have a lot of things to go through, but like
Being humble.
embracing that I'm still raw, and I'm still, developing as an artist, as a man, all that stuff. So I feel like all that kind of went to the title.
Yeah, man. You got to sit there and be hungry. But you brought up your record label and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
Jungle Gold Music Group.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, like independent artists, they're not really searching for like record deals no more. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
them are like, nah, I'm a do me, I'm gonna stay indie.
Definitely.
And is that one of the reasons why you were like, hey, this deal, I'm just gonna go out there and get mine?
Definitely. And I also felt like, just as just kind of as who I am as a person, I've always kind of like just been as like a go-getter in terms of like, for myself, just trying to build, the best situation for myself. So I feel like it just made sense for me to do that. And I felt
Hmm.
like, with the record labels, everyone's kind of saying how indie's the wave right now. Is,
Definitely.
it's getting tough for them. They're trying to figure out all different types of ways to keep up, because, the digital age, you can do everything. If you really got the mindset for it, it's tough. Believe me, it's tough. Like, the
Oh,
record label got the connections, they got
right.
they got the money, they got the platform. They
Mhm.
got the history of being, powerful for so long. So it's tough to go against. But I feel like if you really believe in yourself, and you really learn, and you really like take the time to understand the game and understand what's it really going to take, because
Definitely.
everybody's going to want to be indie, but when like, push comes to shove, it's going to get tough. It's going to get tough for me as well. But, it's just about, again, having that belief that like, I'm going to be able to learn this game. I'm going to be able to learn it for the best for myself and for other people. I think that's the point of being a label, aside from like separate entities, because, I want to bring, my producer friends, or my videographer friends, photographer friends, athlete
Right.
friends, anybody. I want to be able to bring everybody under this umbrella that I hopefully can build with other, like-minded people, that, you kind of want to have your
Mhm.
own like entity, and your own, control of your destiny, and not
Right.
be under this umbrella of like a major corporation and stuff like that. So I think all that kind of went into
Hmm.
the decision of me to, build it. And I want to build it early, like start it as early as I can. So then, we have that history, and we have that ability to grow from there. So it's been an exciting thing for me. And I got a lot more coming with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Trust me, we'll be staying tuned, man. We'll be
Mhm.
staying tuned. Um, so when how can I say this? So in one of your songs, you were pretty much repping, the
Mhm.
Golden Knights. Is hockey one of your sports that you watch?
I started, I try to keep up. I'm not
Same
the
here.
yeah, yeah. I feel like I think that's the beautiful thing about Vegas and us getting these sports teams. It just kind of
Oh
like
yeah,
it like invokes your like, your love for the games of whatever. Like,
yeah.
I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but, if the A's come here, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna try
Big
to get
time.
up to speed. I'm gonna check out the squad. I'm gonna be watching the game. So, I think I definitely, I'm sure you could probably relate. Growing up, like a lot of people, if they ask you your team in like different, any sport really,
Right.
you kind of have to go off like a family member. You got to go off of like, some type of connection to a player or something, because
That
like,
happened right
yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see you
there.
right there. Yeah. And so it's like, when you don't have that, it's just like you don't really know who to go to. A lot of people go to like an Arizona team or a Cali team. That's
Yeah,
really what we
yeah.
have, because it's like that's what's closest. But like I think like this, like especially like the younger kids coming up, now that you have like Vegas teams, it's really gonna
Mhm.
build like this real culture, like in terms of
It is.
sports. I think it's gonna allow kids to like actually stand on it, because it's like, because you're right, because like even like basketball is like, I'm always trying to find a team, because like I don't really have anybody, like I don't have no connection to nobody. There's
The
like nobody
same.
I could like really like support. I was like, so it's like, if we get the Kings, if we get anybody, any of those teams come down here, then you could actually full on be support. I used to be jealous of the other cities who usually like be full on support, get a season ticket, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
hopefully we gonna get that soon.
So, are you a Raiders fan since the Raiders just moved over?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
I'm trying.
you
I'm
know
trying to keep.
But no, Raiders are in the AFC, so when they play and they're not, playing us,
Mhm.
49ers, the greatest team, I'll root for them silently because
Yeah.
like I'm saying, Vegas is home to me.
Mhm.
So, do you play any sports? What do you do for fun? What's your
Yeah,
hobby?
I used to play a lot of basketball.
You nice
Basketball.
you nice with it?
Nah. I'm a decent size. I'm 6'4", so I played a bit
You
based
six
on the stuff.
four?
Yeah,
Oh,
a
god
lot of.
damn, bro, you tall as shit. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I get that a lot when people see me in person. So they always go to the basketball. So yeah, I played a bit. Definitely wasn't the best. To just kind of play for fun. Ironically, I played, even for my size, I played a lot of
Right.
soccer. Soccer was a big thing for me growing up. I had a lot of fun because I played in goal. I played goalkeeper, and you kind of
Oh,
need to be you need like a decent size. A goalkeeper defense, you need decent size on you. And I was usually a
right.
lot of tall. I was usually a lot taller than the kids around me, so I had like a little bit of step up. Like basketball, everybody gonna be tall. Like football, everybody probably gonna be a bit bigger. But
No,
it was like
exactly.
soccer, I was standing out a little bit, so that kind of became like an advantage for me. So those are two. Those are probably my three. Those are probably the three I watch the most too. Is
Okay.
is basketball, football, soccer. But
Did you
yeah,
play did you play any
that's
of them while you went to because you went to Valley, right?
yeah. I went to Valley.
Did you play any of those while you were at Valley?
Yeah, I played basketball.
Oh, okay. I'm with you, bro. Like,
Hmm.
I got a mid-range. That's it. Don't put me on the three-point, bro.
Yeah,
It ain't happening, bro.
yeah.
Like, put me in the mid-range, I'm
Hmm.
good. But I'm like you, bro. I play for fun.
Hmm.
That's about it. I ain't
Definitely.
all that nice. My brother
Yeah.
though, he nice with it.
Hmm. That's
um,
what's up. Hmm.
so you know what I'm about to ask, right?
Hmm.
What are your top three artists? What you got?
Top three artists, not including legends.
Yeah, not including
I'm gonna
legends.
give you. I'm gonna give you Meek Mill. Meek Mill is like very high on my list. I feel like
Okay.
people probably don't give him his credit. Like his run from like what he started 2010 maybe. Before that with the DC tapes and stuff. I feel
Right,
like
yeah.
even before that he probably he had a lot of classics, but I think like he's had like kind of consistent all around range in terms of like
Oh,
lyrical ability. He could make club records, street records. He kind of had it all in the locker. So I think
definitely.
Meek Mill was like someone like I was super inspired by growing up, and like a lot of imprint on my style. A bit of the more aggressive delivery. A lot of like high
Okay.
pace. Yeah, fast tempo. So yeah, I'm gonna have Meek Mill up there. I'm gonna have Vince Staples up there. Vince Staples,
Oh, okay.
big fan of Vince Staples. Definitely got that West Coast influence. I feel like his Summertime '06 that came out in 2015 is like one of my greatest albums of all time. Like in terms of my
Okay.
like on like the impact it had on me when I heard that. Like it
Mhm.
was like I was not expecting like that much. Like the production on that's amazing. There's like his
Right.
lyrical content. He's probably like the opposite. He's a lot more laid back.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, he is.
laid back in terms of his delivery and stuff like that. But it's so like intricate. Like his last project, he has like this.
Mhm.
There's this one song that's so crazy. It sounds like a love song, like completely, and he has like all these different perspectives, and I'm like, it's like there's levels to it. So,
So I gotta ask, what's the song? Because I know who Vince Stable is. I like a
hmm
couple of songs, but
hmm
I'm not as big as a fan as you. But
hmm
see, now I'm curious. What's the song?
So it's the song. The song is called "When Sparks Fly." It's on the last Vince Staples album, "Ramona Park Broke My Heart," and like I heard it a couple times. I didn't even catch it, and I feel bad I didn't catch it because I saw it on the internet. I was like, that makes so much sense. So When Sparks Fly, it has two verses on it, and
Okay.
you would think like the first verse he's talking first person, and the second verse he's talking like from his girlfriend. That's what like when you initially hear it, that's how it's going to sound to you. But what he's
Okay.
actually saying is in the first verse he's talking
Right.
about like his gun and like everything that it comes with, like the pain and like how it
Mhm.
protects him and also could hurt him at the same time. So the
Okay.
first verse is him talking about the gun, and the second verse is the gun talking about him and how the
Oh,
gun is now like, it could have got him locked up, it could have got him in
right.
trouble, it could have got him like all these different like issues. And when I heard the song, it's a very well produced song, got this like singing sample in the background, it's amazing.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just a good love song. It's like that's what I thought for like the first like couple listens. Then I heard that, took it to another level. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's like another level. Like, it's a common thing in hip hop of like love songs. It could be about something else. Like it could be
Mhm.
hip hop. It could be like, oh, I love hip hop, or I love this, the money. It could be
Yeah.
something
Right.
else.
Yeah.
And then like, they kind of like personify it to a girl. This was
Mhm.
like another one that I just like, it kind of blew my mind.
Right. To me, it kind of sounds like, to a certain extent, is Kendrick, Drink.
Hmm.
And like people just thought, it was actually
Yeah.
drinking song until you listen to
Yeah.
the lyrics. You're
Yeah.
like, yo,
Hmm.
this is not what he's talking about
Hmm.
at all.
Definitely.
And it's like a
Definitely.
different perspective of like the bottle talking to him
Hmm.
or his conscience pretty much talking to him. So that's
Definitely.
dope, man. That's creative. That's
Hmm.
creative.
I,
I
I
love when
love Yeah, I love
yeah,
songs like that. Those are my favorite, trying to I like that's like the goal a lot of the times when I think about songs like that. Just trying to make that's like the layers when you talk about layers and levels and
yeah.
stuff like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's top notch. And like
Mhm.
definitely in the rap game, there's different levels to this. And like a lot of it, how I look at it is like elementary, middle school, and like obviously higher. And like I see the progression out of you when I listen to your old thing, Jaguar Instinct, to
Mhm.
now, like you can hear the progression,
Mhm.
and it's like it's very like nice to hear
Mhm.
someone actually improving.
Mhm.
But you all about that Jaguar Instinct. So
Yeah.
where does that come from?
Yeah, I appreciate you checking that out because that's a hidden gem at this point. Like
Yeah,
not
it
many
is.
people check that out, so that means a lot to me. That was I was really young with it. It was like I
Yeah.
really did not know like with this mic and stuff. I like recorded it terribly. Every time I hear it back, I'm like, oh, there's so many things I could have fixed with that. Like even like my voice, like even at that
Mhm.
point, I felt I had been writing for so long, so that like part of my skill set was like it was pretty good. Like I'm not mad at the writing on that like project,
Right.
but it's just like my
Yeah.
delivery, my voice, all of it was just like so raw. Like there was like so much for me to grow on. Like I'm like so much more confident in all of that now. So then like a lot of people like what a lot of artists do nowadays is they take down their old stuff because they're like, oh, I don't want this to like be on my record, or you don't want someone to find you
Mm,
after this. I
yeah,
I love it. Like I love like you being able to see the growth like for an experience like this. Like that's the point.
definitely.
Like I think it's like important. Like I'm not with like for me, everything you put out should kind of stay out because I feel like it gives people this opportunity to see the growth and see your
Yeah.
different perspectives. Like I always loved just trying to get out as I think the way you get it out, like you should obviously think about it, but once it's out,
Mhm.
it's got to stay out. Like I feel like it's important for like the listener to like kind of find that out and learn, even if you mess up, even if it's a bad track, even if it's like everyone's like, oh my god, this should have stayed
Yeah.
in. I like letting it out. I don't think the stains because you got to make mistakes. You gotta have some rough parts so then people can see when you like you do your thing. They can see the growth.
Definitely.
They can see the part and part. But as for the title of that, Jaguar Instinct, it was obviously my first one. So it was like it
Mhm.
was kind of explaining like that phase of my life. I think
Okay.
projects that's like a big part of me. Like, a lot of the greats will always say that like they should be like, they should earmark that point in your life. That should be
Yeah.
like if you took that point in your life and you put it into an album, or you put it into a mixtape, it should that's what a project should be. So for me, like, it was just that thing of like, I don't care what anybody's gonna say. I don't care what anybody's gonna
Right.
think of me. Like it's my instinct. It's like the animal inside me needs to like it needs to go. Like I gotta be able to rap. I gotta be able to like you gotta see me like this or like I don't care. It's just like you're
Yeah.
going off your instinct. You're not like using your heart too much. I mean, like, oh, what are people gonna start like making fun of me or people gonna start like not liking me or stuff like that? You just gotta go off your instinct. So that was a lot of the title of that, and that's pretty like I really like that title. I might make a sequel to it or something too. I really like the Jaguar Instinct. I'm thinking about getting it tatted on me sometime, but I really like that meaning because it really symbolizes that time of my career.
Got you. Okay. All right. I feel that. I feel that. So I know you've been doing your documentary and everything. What
Mhm.
what made you want to do that?
I think, this is like, I think it's something that everybody like kind of pushes now. It's like the content age. Everybody's like, oh, you gotta have all these different things. I think for me, a biggest part was like, a lot of people like, because we are in like the digital area, and we were talking about technology right before this, was like we have this ability, like when Jay-Z was making his first album, when Nas was making his first album, they couldn't have
Yeah,
just set up a camera. Like you see the Kanye documentary that just came out on Netflix. Like
yeah,
you got
yeah.
to
I
think
want to
about
talk about it.
the foresight Cootie had to have this. What is it worth? 50 million? Like you got to think of
Yeah,
the foresight you have to like do that back then. That was 99. That was like, what, 02, 03. So it's like you got
Mhm.
to be able to
They
think
still had
that.
camcorders. I don't know. Yeah,
Exactly.
like
Yeah,
that.
like that's a lot of work. That's a lot of thought, and you really got to be thinking ahead to do stuff like that. So for me, that's what I kind of wanted to do. I want to take that opportunity, like especially when I was like growing up and like really learning the game. I used to like
Right.
binge those. Those are like I didn't watch like TV was nothing like that. That would be like the most exciting thing for me is just finding a new interview from like when Drake was younger, Kendrick was younger, Cole was younger. If I found one of those, those was like that was like a grail to me. I'd watch that like so many times. I could tell you like what they said exactly because there's so much to learn.
Dang. Oh,
So
definitely so much to learn from their
mhm.
interviews and
So I
everything.
yeah, I love those so much. So I was like, I think a lot of the platforms in the city, like that's why I really appreciate what you're doing. Sometimes you don't get the opportunity, especially back then, like when I was like, just like making the interviews and stuff. Like, some of the homies would like, hit me up and we do like a quick interview, but it's not like we couldn't have like a Hot 97 or like, something like where you have like this full blown interview where you could talk for an
Definitely.
hour, right? So like I was like, I have all these thoughts and I have all this stuff to say. So it's like, why not do it? Why not? All I need is just set up the camera and I can do it. I'll
Yep.
learn the editing. I'll learn it all. You know.
Oh yeah. I'm still learning. This is like what you were talking about, all the mistakes and like
Mm-hmm.
being worried about what people would think. I had the same fear, and I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure everyone else has.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm just getting better and better.
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely.
yeah, man, and it's crazy. I'm sorry, I feel like I interrupted.
No,
Go
no,
go
you
ahead,
good, you good.
man.
I wanted to hear that. That was good. But yeah, I think that's more than an artist thing. That's just like a human thing. That feeling of like self doubt and self rejection and stuff like that. So then so yeah, so with the documentary, I just wanted to take all my thoughts because I had a lot of those thoughts just like saved up. I just like
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna get an opportunity to get interviewed anytime soon, and it was just like why not? I have like a lot of pieces. I really need to get on that. I've been focused on the new music, but like I have like hours and hours worth of footage. I brought some of my homies and like we just sat in the car. I set up the camera. I played them the Golden Boy and I got all their reactions and we had like
right,
mini
right.
conversations in between. So I wanted to take all that. I did like a song by song breakdowns of like every single song. So I have all that
Ooh.
footage. I just need to edit it. That's why I'm excited like to talk to you about today because I got some of the thoughts about that and hopefully I can
Right.
add some of this into there. When I get to finishing it up. But it's just like I was really excited to just like it's raw. It's like
Mhm.
not many people are gonna think that much ahead because you're just gonna either not gonna have the time or the energy or you maybe just not have the foresight. But it's like for me that was just like the next thing for me is like I can have that and you never
Yeah,
know. Maybe Netflix picks it up in 15
exactly.
years,
50 million. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. So, it doesn't hurt anybody for me to try it. It's like it's only a way for me to build. And even if I mess up again, if I mess up with it, like I can always do better. It's always just gonna be the
Exactly.
starting point. So, I was really excited for it. And then, my biggest hope, of course, is just like for a similar experience for me is like when I'm like anybody who ever looks up to me, if that's ever,
Right.
whenever that's a thing, not if, whenever that's a thing,
Yeah, there
uh,
you go. There
yeah,
you
they're gonna be
go.
able to look back on that. So I think that was like the biggest inspiration behind that.
Got you. And that's one reason why I did the channel, like
Hmm.
started the channel, because I want to give artists that aren't like big the
Hmm.
opportunity to pretty much get interviewed. They get practice, I
Hmm.
get practice,
Hmm.
but it's more of just giving them the platform, you know what I mean? Because
Definitely.
there's really not a lot of platforms.
Hmm.
So that's
Definitely.
one of the main reasons why I did it.
Hmm.
But the whole Golden Boy thing, the whole project, with, man.
I
It's
appreciate
a
it.
really good project.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. And we're gonna dive into a song,
Hmm.
First of Many, and
Hmm.
like what you were saying about Meek Mills,
Hmm.
what is it? Dream and Nightmares, right?
Yeah,
You know that
yeah,
intro?
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. And
Meek
like
Mill
the set,
intros top
yo,
tier.
yeah, most definitely. So
Every Meek
like
Mill.
an intro is supposed to set the tone
Mhm,
of the whole entire project, and
mhm.
that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
That's exactly what
I
you did with it.
appreciate it.
And it was nice. But we're gonna dive into this,
Most
jam to
definitely.
it real quick. Bet.
Yeah. J. A. G. First of many, man. Go ahead and put me versus any man. Reason I'ma take it, I got plenty, man. Saw the picture perfect 2020, man. Kids think they good in a minivan. What? Bitch, I'm in it harder than a semi, man. Yeah. Second, so my pockets never skinny, man. Used to the harder way, picture petty, man. I'm just letting out to me, man. Went from you to raw, hit the shimmy, man. I do it for the fam in the city, man. Till we reach the top, sitting pretty, man. Wishing that they bought me, I see many, man. They were 50 cents, one were 30 and 50 cents. I just share my life, and that's a pity, man. Well, I'll do with that respect, you gotta give me, man. Plus the power too, making power moves. I don't care how two clowns, cause out of who. The fuck is proud of you? You lose your hours to the stress, the best of the west up an hour crew. That's me, you gon' see it when you scour through. All the hatred in your soul, knock it out of you. Big man, plot towers, but the tower too. With my heart of gold, I'll fuck around and power you. Many on the way, this is the first. All I ever do is work. Try to take the game and get it turn. Keep playing with me, get murk. Dodging all the bullshit, I just skirt. That's for the greatest, rise birth. Yeah, bitch, I came at the dirt. You can see it on my skin, fuck you, hurt. I took all of that pain and I used it, blessed with the music. Got me through days I thought I was gonna lose it. Now it's got me, I refuse excuses. Reintroducing the kid that no one expected. Blowing past all they projections, chase perfection. Open the clothes I get, go lead us in the right direction. I'm just expressing how I place the pressure on me, cause I'm trying to be it forever on me. And I'ma be the greatest ever on me, and I'm getting better. I cannot measure all of the pleasure I get from showing these haters that weather. I keep it clever, I'm a whatever. I'll do all of them at it together. World's all crazy.
Preview it for the people real quick. You gotta go check that song out because that shit is hot.
Sir,
Trust me,
appreciate that.
it will be down there in the description. So you
Mhm.
gotta check that out.
I appreciate
So
that.
so I just pretty much got a question for you.
Definitely.
Was the mission was to just go in there and just set the mic on fire or what? Was that the mission?
Definitely. I appreciate that. High on the list, you know. I talk a little bit about it in the documentary, so I'm gonna give you points of that and like a lot of the stuff I didn't get to speak about. But I think a lot of that,
Right.
I think with intros you can usually go two different routes. I feel like you can go like you can either go heavy or you can go light. Like you could do if you
Right.
do light, you gonna aim like a minute 30, 2 minutes. You want to do like a little like it usually will be a little bit more laid back. You know, you
Mhm.
can just kind of like it's kind of like a teaser, and then the second track you know you kind of go on to whatever you want to say, or
Oh, definitely.
so and then the other option is, you know, you start off heavy, you know, you leave it on the line and then hope people are gonna like sit through it because it's harder. Because I think especially like there's given all these studies about you know how much people's like attention span is down, and it's like it's hard for people to listen to like
Oh,
longer music
definitely.
and stuff. And it's like you know I kind of grew up on the school of like of long projects and like full projects, and like it's
Definitely.
hard for me to make a short project. It's hard for me to make short songs. It's hard for me to do two verses or like a verse and a feature and stuff like that. Like
Right.
I love like full songs, full albums. That's what I grew up off of. That's like where my heart's at. And it's like it's hard to kind of like I feel like you kind of have to find your a way in the middle. So it's like
Right.
for a
Yeah.
lot of people like that 15 songs on Golden Boy, like a lot of people is you know is not gonna get through that. They're gonna see that 46 minutes and be like, am I really gonna give this underground artist a 46 minutes of my time? You know, how many people are gonna actually gonna do that? So it's like, you know, that's what I'm going with and that's what I'm sticking with. So my
Exactly.
best chance of getting you to listen to all this is to start as heavy as I can and like really get as you know as into it and just set the tone and like make sure like after you hear that first song, you gonna be interested into
Exactly.
what's gonna come after that, you know. So I was like, I'm gonna stick with my long project, I'm gonna stick with my long songs, but I gotta make sure that they're of that tier. So then if you listen to the full thing, you're not gonna be disappointed. So I
Yeah.
think that was the goal of that one. So you know that went down to the production. Shout out my boy Zarati. You know he produced that one. So you know I was seeking him out. You know he's done like a lot of dope stuff. You know in the
Right.
city, and he's worked with a lot of like artists in the city. So I definitely wanted to work with him. So I hit him up. I was like going through his catalog of beats, and then
Mm.
so he actually produced the intro and the outro. So those are like that was very special. Those two I think
Okay.
on all projects, you know, intro and outro I think should be very special tracks. So it was like I found the track for the outro pretty quickly, and then like so I was kind of
Mhm.
writing to that, and I was getting that one done, and I was like, I feel like I definitely could find the intro with him too. So I found that beat, and I was like, yeah, that's the one because I
Yeah.
want as soon as you press play, I want like that first note to just like grab your attention because you know it's an over 3 minute song, you know those are rare nowadays. So like you know
Definitely.
so I hope you know as soon as I like it starts, you know it just gets people intrigued and. You know, you know, a
Yeah.
year and some change later, I think it did I think it did the job. So, you know,
Oh,
I'm
definitely did the
pretty proud of
job.
that one.
Like when I go listen to like artists like full project,
Mhm.
sometimes it can be definitely very dreading because I'm like, yo, this song is
Mhm.
not the best. I don't like
Mhm.
calling other people's music trash
Mhm.
just because how can I say this? Everyone likes different types of music.
Yeah.
So someone might like it. I just don't like it. It's
No,
just not
yeah.
my cup of tea.
Definitely. Same
But
page.
Golden Boy though. I
I
was jamming that shit around the house. My daughters were looking at me weird.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
No problem. And
Mhm.
I do got another question. Like in
Mhm.
there it says kid looks good in the minivan. You whipping the minivan?
Kid looks good to me. Kid, kid looks good to me. Cause good kid, Mad City. So that's I'm trying to think of the line
Got
before.
you.
So that's what I was like, the cover of Mad City is the minivan. So it's
Oh,
like,
okay.
so there's something like I'm trying to catch the bars, but it's something of comparing a minivan to a truck. So a semi truck. Yeah,
Semi
that's what. So
truck.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, semi truck. So that's I think that's the next line. So it's like good kid, Mad City. I was trying to connect all that together. That's another. I said Summertime '06. That's probably another one of my top 5 albums. Probably like inspired me to rap like for real,
Yeah.
like because of what you were saying about the layers and stuff. I was like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
I could do that. I feel like I can't get you with the street stuff. I probably can't get you with the melodic stuff, but like I can give you some layers, man. I can give you like my life story and give you some layers. So that was one of my all time classics. So I had to give a shout out to it in there, and then connect the minivan with the semi truck and Good Kid, Mad City. So that was the story behind that line.
Got you. Yeah, I wanted you to break that down because I know
Hmm.
it's a bar in there.
Yeah.
And then like what made me go crazy, like when you listen to music and like there's just bars, the bar after bar,
Hmm.
just nasty, nasty
Hmm.
bars. Like you gotta pause it and you're like,
Hmm.
yo, 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 this is a lot. This is what I had to do when you had the play on words with Penny Hardaway.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
bro, I had
happy
to
you
pause
caught
it. I was like,
that.
oh no, no, he didn't. And like at first, when I first heard it, it went right over my head. And then
Hmm.
like the second time, I was like, did he say what I think he said? Oh my god, man, that was a real good bar.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm proud of that one. That's uh, I had to have the hard away pinch of pennies, man. Like that's
Yeah.
connected. The life story again, the life story, the layers, and Penny Hardaway. That was a good one. So I appreciate that reaction, man.
Yeah, man. And then I know there was another one, and I feel like I'm missing the bar.
Hmm.
And it's pretty much Benny Man and 50 Cent.
Yeah, so 50 Cent has that song, Many Men.
Benny Man, yeah.
So the chorus is wishing death upon me, many men with wishing death upon me. So it's wishing death upon me. I see many men, uh, not worth 50 cents. So like obviously the change of 50
Right.
cents to like what 50 Cent is now worth now, and then connecting that to another of one of his peers of Diddy Man. So it's like connecting many men to 50 cents of the change to 50 Cent as the rapper and the mogul now
Right.
to
Yeah.
now to Diddy Man. So then I don't know if you catch like a couple bars later after that scheme ends. I would then start talking about power, obviously, because power is 50
Yeah.
Cent show. So
We
then
were gonna get into that one
so
next,
that's
but
that's
you
how
already
it
there.
all connects. Yeah, that's how it all connects. So again, talking about the classics. I gave Kendrick the shout out. I had to give 50 the shout out. Big reason of why I fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah,
He had every record spin on the radio back then. So I think
definitely.
I had to give him a shout out. Give Diddy a shout out. I feel like that's like in terms of business. Like being able to have that much power and be that big of a
Mhm.
mogul. I feel like is an inspiration to us all. So I feel like being able to
Yeah.
give all three of those that shout out in that scheme was important to me.
Oh yeah, like P Diddy, he's not the best lyricist, not
Hmm.
even close. But
Not
like
even
as a
close.
as a
Of course.
businessman, no,
Yeah.
very, very, very smart. Just don't
Definitely.
let him manage you as a
Definitely.
man. That's not
Mhm.
the answer. um,
Definitely.
and then what is it? You have some other bars in there.
Mhm.
And like I'm not even really gonna try, and that's because
Mhm.
I don't do the bars justice.
Yeah.
So
I
like
appreciate it.
I'm a pretty much stumble, but
Mhm.
it starts with I use all the pain and used it, blessed with the music. And like you went all the way down to I refuse to use excuses.
Mhm.
And I appreciate that because a lot of people don't understand of like, yo, them excuses don't mean shit.
Definitely.
Like I have a good friend Brewer, and like he has a saying like excuses are like assholes.
Mhm.
Everybody got them and they all stink. So like
Yeah.
so like
Mhm.
on that bar, moving past the excuses and actually getting after whatever your dreams are, like that just really hit home
Mhm.
for me.
Mhm.
And like a lot of people don't understand the all the work done in the shadows. They just
Definitely.
expect like this video, right? They don't
Mhm.
know like I'm about to spend some hours just video editing, but all they see
Definitely.
is the video.
Mhm.
I mean, and it's the same thing with you. Like you spend hours on your lyrics, and like it's just so much effort and work, and like you trying to like make it perfect, perfect your
Mhm.
craft and everything. And a lot of
Mhm.
people, like I said, just don't get it.
Mhm. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that line I think ties into the title of the song of like being first of many. Like that's kind of the belief you got to have. I'm sure when you did your first video of this, you had to have that belief that you're gonna have many and they're gonna get better and you're gonna get better at interviewing, you're gonna get better at editing. All of it's
definitely.
gonna grow. So it's like whenever I do something, I try to have that belief and I try to tell other people have that belief. That's gonna
Yeah,
be the first of many. Just say it. Just even
yeah,
if you don't believe it at that moment, you gotta just start believing. That's gonna be the first of many. Anything you achieve,
yeah,
any win you get, any loss you get, it's going to be the first of many, but that means you're going to have that many wins. That's going to mean you tried that many times, you put that much effort in. So just having that belief of like a lot of the song just kind of goes back to that feeling of like, okay, this is going to be the first of many. All the issues that come across with this having many stuff, there's going to be a lot of issues that come across with that. So I think tying all that together, just
yeah.
that was the main energy of the track.
Oh yeah, definitely caught that energy.
Hmm.
And I know there was like certain bars that you wanted to talk about. You said that you pretty much broke down pretty much all your songs, and that's to me that's crazy, and that takes a lot of effort. And I
Hmm.
appreciate your passion for it
Yeah,
because
definitely.
like you have to be passionate to do something like that. So
Hmm.
what what are your key thoughts on the song that you
I
want to
think
take?
yeah, I think you touched on a lot of my favorites. I had to start the song off right, but a lot of the bars I liked. I definitely like the music one. I think that song is actually one of the songs I do a cappella a lot at the shows. Because I feel like it really lets me kind of say my piece, and I feel like people often perk up and listen
Yeah,
for a song like that. So that music bar is really important to me. I think getting towards the end of the song, I have the things about the bars about destiny and how this is just gonna be the first of many. I think
right.
again it gets into that belief. So then we even did this like cool little thing with the production at the end, which so we try to get the vocal pulled back so it's kind of like this echo. So what I wanted that echo to kind of represent is like
Right.
that echo in your mind, like it's just the first of many. This is your destiny. People are gonna be mad at you, all that
Yeah,
stuff, but it's like it's just got to be in your head, like this is the first of many. So I think a lot of that, that energy is just kind of carried throughout the song. A lot of it, a lot of those bars are just about, the pain and the struggle that comes with that. And like, it's a day and night process. I think that's another one of my favorite ones. Another one is like
mhm,
the world's messed up. The world's messed up, but when has it not been? I think that was a big one for me.
yeah,
Like
that's true.
I really like that one because it was like people like, especially that. So when I put that out, that was 2020. That was like a big big time with a lot of stuff going wrong, and people say
Definitely.
the world's up. And I was like, when has it not been? When has it
Yeah,
not like when has it not been up? Like there's always been issues. There's always been
exactly.
stuff going on. So you got to be able to always talk about it. You can't just talk about it when it's going bad. You got to
Yeah,
talk about it when it's going good. You got to talk about, you got to still remember, like, stuff's going on. There's a lot of bad stuff,
yeah,
happening in the world. So I feel like, people kind of have that belief of like, oh, it just comes and goes, or like, oh, like this is just a small time thing. But it's like,
yeah,
issues are always going to be there. So it's like, I think it's up to all of us as individuals to kind of make ourselves the best version so we can,
mhm,
carry out, our responsibilities so we can help other people and we can help other people do that same thing. And hopefully, in different communities and different groups of people, we can all tackle, different parts of these issues. So, those are some of my favorite bars from that song.
definitely. You got to start with yourself where you can honestly make some change. I forgot, can't remember the saying Biggie Smalls has,
Hmm.
but if you can't, you got to be able to change yourself to change
Change
up.
the world. Yeah,
Yeah, change the
something
world.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Can't remember on top of my head,
Hmm.
but yeah, man, it's crazy. The world is crazy. They'd be like, oh, and the whole thing with Trump, make America great again. And it's
Hmm.
like, when was America actually great?
Ever great,
Ever
exactly.
great.
Ever. It's
I'm like,
craziest saying ever.
yeah. And it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, this is the land of the free. But like, if you look at our rankings, like at education, economy, like we ain't the
Mhm.
best. We
Definitely.
I think we're in the best with like throwing people in prison.
Hmm.
I
Definitely.
think
You
we
think
number
about.
one on that one.
Mhm. Especially when you think about like how developed we are supposed to be as a country
Yeah.
and how backwards a lot of it is. Like it just nothing
Ooh,
matches up. You can't have this many billionaires and millionaires and still have like the levels of poverty in the country,
Poverty,
of
yeah, homeless.
imprisonment, of wrongful convictions, all this stuff that should not match up. That should not be anywhere close to being in the same country. But that's the situation we stuck in right now.
Yeah, we are. And like you said, got to changes, change your insides, and you can change the world pretty much.
Most definitely.
You got any other like key points on that
Key
song?
points.
Because like I just previewed it, and that's
Hmm.
why you got to listen to the whole thing. And trust me, it's
Hmm.
bars after bars after bars after bars. And
Hmm.
just make sure you pay attention, because if you're not, you will miss them.
I appreciate it. Oh, I think we talked about a lot of my favorite bars on there, a lot of my main ones. I think a lot of them again just go back to the energy, and it's just like it dives into different parts. I remember like there's
Yeah,
one about I've been doing this every day of my life, day until night, just trying to find a way just to fight. There's a
yeah,
bar, there's a scheme like that, and it's just like it talks again to that that ever representing
mhm.
hunger and work towards it. And I hope when people turn it on, they get that feeling. I know couple of my homies say like when they work out, it's always a good song for them because it gives them that energy. When they're trying to like really exert themselves.
Oh,
So I
definitely.
that's a good feeling to know that's what came across with the song, because that's definitely what I was aiming for. So again, yeah, you gotta listen to it. We're
Yeah,
really like deep, and I could tell you have. So I think that's where a lot of the great bars come in. So I'm really proud of that one.
yeah, man, as you should be.
I
But
appreciate it.
that's on Golden Boy, and
Hmm.
that project came out early. Was it late last year?
Hmm.
So we need to get into some of your new shit.
Hmm.
So we're gonna talk about Slick Talk, and trust me,
Hmm.
you was talking your shit on this
I
one.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
So we're gonna get in this one. Oh, well, first question is, so you dropped the song in, what is it, back in 2021,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And you recently just made the music video.
I had the music video. It's actually on the featured artist, or so it's originally the original artist is this guy called
Bro,
Burrow, super dupe dude. I think
yeah,
he's kind of taking a break from music. He's deactivated his channels and stuff like that.
I
So
saw. I was trying to get some
kind of
information on him, and
yeah, yeah.
it
He's he
was
yeah, he's been in the scene for a while. He's a bit, he's a bit more of on the veteran side. So he's been
right.
doing it for a while. So I think he's been taking a little bit of a break, or just kind of stepping away from music. So
No,
I
no,
we shot the music video. It came out I think the same day. Yeah, the same day. So it was April 1st,
mhm,
2021. So I just kind of re-uploaded the video, just try to
okay.
get some traction back. It was my first feature verse. I'm proud of it. So I just kind of want to get it back out on on the stream platforms again, and have people be able to check it out, just to see what I was talking about.
Got you. So people are about to see it right now because I'm about
Hmm.
to play this
Nice.
thing.
But I appreciate it.
A lane, hold up, slick talk, slick talk, slick talk, slick talk. Yeah, slick talk. I'm just trying to have a future when I'm stick talk. Cause that type of shit that get you nicked off, picked off. You don't want smoke, get your diss off. Cause you spit soft, turn that shit off. Y'all ain't feeling like me when I'm pissed off. Coming heavy with the business like I'm Rick Ross, turning big boss. Fuck, I do this shit for hip hop. Make some big pop, Nas Hov. Wayne Thought plus all the Marshall. Cause my lines like a con for your nostrils. And I shine all the time, spitting gospel with the God flow. But y'all listen to lyrics like me. Y'all ain't trying to feel it in your spirit like me. Don't wanna hear it like me. Alright, then we gon' have to clear it rightly, right quick. Plus I'm with boroughs, bruh. New York, there's LV to the world, bruh. And y'all queens gon' be X's, they talking like Brooklyn. Cause Kings look us keep it so thorough, bruh. Manhattan and Staten got plural, bruh. Wasting that way more than euros, bruh. So I'll come up and run up all jets. We run up, we met and get made in the murals, bruh. Slick talk, really been a giant since the tip off. I put my foot down where y'all flip flop. Switching up on me, you can kick rocks. Fuck that bitch stop. Slick talk, y'all blowing off, giving spin kids vibes. Don't even waste your time on the wristwatch. Watch you run out, going TikTok, TikTok. We not the same. The kid, the king, and y'all is trash. Stay off my name. Don't fuck with me eternally. You know I rep that big LV. Slick talk, I'm a big shot. Yeah, slick talk. It don't switch off. Nah, slick talk. I see tip top. Yeah, slick talk. Get my shit off, bitch.
So was the mission for both of y'all, and you got to listen to the whole entire thing because Burrow snapped too.
Snaps.
Did both of y'all just go in there and you were like, we're gonna start off with the mic, but we're gonna burn the whole building down?
Yeah. That was
That
the
shit was
mission.
fire.
That was the
Oh, that
mission.
was the mission. That shit was fire, man.
I
And
appreciate it.
And even like the warehouse you did it in, I have
hmm
no idea where'd you shoot that?
So it's actually this is alley in downtown. So it's a super dope alley. You know, they actually have. I know a lot of people have been shooting videos over there because they have this like super amazing lighting. I don't know if it's a city funded or whatever, but like they put all these like stands that have lights over
Okay.
there. So I think the director just kind of chose out the spot. So we pulled up over there. Yes, perfect for the video. It's very
Definitely.
picturesque. It had my favorite. My favorite is it has that make Las Vegas beautiful again. And then
Yeah,
when I say I rep I rep the big LV, we chose to use that shot right there. So that's like my favorite part. But it's a beautiful little alley down in downtown. And I think I shot a couple of my videos are downtown, and I like just kind of exploring. All the artists kind of get
yeah.
there. Be able to express themselves. So hopefully, I obviously I'm not able to get in contact with all of them, but hopefully they get to see their art showcased in some videos. But yeah, that area is really cool. You should check it out sometime.
Oh, I guess I do. I
Mhm,
haven't been like in Vegas. Like I actually stayed there for a while,
mhm,
probably for a hot minute. Like I'll go
mhm,
there and visit. I'm actually going there next month for a conference,
mhm.
but like ain't gonna be no. I'm going there for business, no play,
Business, yeah, yeah.
no play at
Yeah.
all.
Mhm,
I'm like, my whole perspective on the song was like, yo, I'm coming in. I'm just gonna talk my shit.
yeah.
Like
Mhm,
talk my
mhm,
shit. I'm gonna show you why I am the chosen one. That's
mhm,
practically what I got
mhm,
from
mhm,
it. And what is it? The first, what is it, like 8 to 10 bars? Like
mhm,
this, bro. It was
mhm.
it was never like slick talk. I'm trying to have a future like on stick talk. Like
Yeah.
just that whole thing and like the stanza on it.
Mhm,
And like people are missing these things, man.
mhm.
People are missing these
Definitely.
things.
Mhm.
But the stanza on it, and then like the internal, what is it? Internal rhyme in
Rhyme
there with
scheme.
his
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
the rhyme scheme.
mhm.
Man, that was
Yeah.
nasty. And
I
like
appreciate that.
it was very, very clever, man. And
Mhm,
then you pretty much give shout outs to, some of the greats, Big
mhm,
Pac, Nas, Hove, Wayne, Eminem.
mhm,
But what really blew my mind was like later on in it when you just matched boroughs and
mhm.
then went on a whole New York
Mhm.
like wordplay. I was
Mhm.
like, where does this come from? Bro, that shit was nice, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah. That was a lot of the mission with that song. So like, there's a lot of like inner things. I actually didn't get to talk about that song in the documentary, so I'm really excited about this one. But
Okay.
so Burroughs, I actually met Burroughs at the first show I ever did. I was probably 18 at the time. I was my first show was just an open mic. Somewhere in the north. So I just went to the spot. Did my thing.
Right.
It's not bad for my first performance. I don't know where I got the confidence from, but it shone through that day. So I felt pretty good about that. So then I met Burroughs that day. We had a quick little like talk, and that's why it was very like full circle for me to also be the first feature and for
Yeah.
him to be the first person I worked with, because that's the first person I really met. That's from the scene. So and then in that talk we kind of had to talk about how I think that day, and maybe we did the same open mic maybe like a week or two later, like
Right.
we were probably two of the people who were more on like the lyrical slide. Like again, I came in there with the acapella doing like 60 bars, 70 bars,
Mhm.
straight. And some people were with all due no disrespect, but rapping over there like backing tracks, or
Oh,
just
okay.
not really doing the same energy we was on. So different, again, like how you said, it's all art, so people will have different reactions. Some people were
Definitely.
kind of rocking with me more with the lyrical stuff, and some people were like, "Nah, where's the beat at? Where we want to like turn up right now." So it was like it was kind of like that different energy. So we
Yeah.
had like a quick chat about that. So it was like that stuck in my mind for a while. He's like, "Yo, not everyone's gonna like it, but as long as you sticking true with what you do." And it's like the real people who love lyricism, like those are the people that you're gonna attract, and you shouldn't really
Definitely.
worry about like if other people don't like it, because again, you just got to do it from your heart. So he said that to me like, again, I was super young at the time, so I was like, it really had an impact on me. So when we come back, a year, 2 years later, and we do a feature, I was like, I
Yeah.
had to bring back, that energy that he gave me from that day. So then that's kind of all a little entwined throughout the verse, just different pockets, kind of going back to that.
Yeah, man. I don't know where you get this creative lyricism, bro, but it was like that whole like just New York. It was if you're not appreciating it,
Mhm,
like you're not a real music lover. That's how I look
mhm,
at it because that was like clever as shit. Even though the Giants, like you brought up the Jets and Giants, they're trash. That's one
Yeah.
thing I will say.
hmm
And
yeah, I accept that. I don't know if you caught. I don't know if we're gonna talk about it, but I got all the. I try to get every. I couldn't get the Yankees in, but I got every New York sports team in there because there's. I got the Jets, Mets, Nets, Giants. I think that's it. Yeah. So I couldn't get the Yankees. The Yankees, I couldn't. I just couldn't. I was trying, man. I was trying to fit out where can I what other meaning of Yankees is there, but I
right,
missed out on that one. But I tried to tie in all the other New York sports teams because I got into that New York scheme. So yeah. Again, like that. That was a verse I was pretty proud about. So I'm glad I could get more people to hear it. I'm glad you appreciate it. That definitely makes me. When you put a lot of work into the pen game, you just hope somebody has that type of reaction. So that
yeah.
definitely feels really good.
And like I don't watch baseball, so I don't know much about the
Me
Mets.
either.
But the Nets right now, they are also
Trash.
trash. Trash,
Trash. Oh my god.
trash right now.
Oh my
We're not gonna dive in that. That's a whole
god.
ass
Whole
conversation.
nother conversation. We can have a whole nother podcast just on that.
Yeah, baby, big fact. And then like what is it? And after that, it was just like bar after bar after bar, and then it was like really been a Giants to the tip off. I put my foot down where your flip flops, and it was like just bar, bar, bar. And I was like, man, what? I don't know what the beat ever did to you, but calm down, big fella, calm down.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's like Slick Talk has been there's plenty of songs called Slick Talk. That's been a phrase. The ick awk has been rhymed how many times over like the course of hip hop. So it's like if I think if you're ever gonna do like a common rhyme scheme, you have to just like find a way to elevate it.
Yeah,
So Slick Talk, I'm trying to have a future with no stick talk. Obviously, Future has the really big song Stick Talk, and obviously I want to have a future with no stick talk because I value my life. I never want to. I'm not trying to be out here hurting anybody else. So I'm trying to have a
mhm,
future with no stick talk. So I'm also trying to have the success of future without having a song like stick talk. So there's a
yeah,
lot of levels just in that one too. So I was trying to get into that, and then I think Burroughs actually had the idea. I think it's also how the beat was set up of me doing like the hook again. So he
oh,
obviously he said slick talk. So then like how the song came about is he had a homie, shout out Climax, he's who produced it. So he had a homie, he just had that beat. I think there was two beats. We both liked that one beat more. And he kind of just sent me a voice note. I think he just did whatever like came first to his head, which was dope. It was just the
right,
slick talk. And then it was pretty much his hook. I don't think he maybe changed like one or two words but that was like he just kind of came off that off the top. I was like, that's all I need to go. I was like, oh, that's what we talking about. That gives me something to launch off of. So then we kind of just went from there. And then again, yeah, Burroughs. I think that's been like a feature of mine. I try to whenever I have a feature, it's kind of like subconscious at this point. Like it's just like this is the only opportunity I have to get like bars off like those. Like I really love like specific bars, like because it's like you can only ever hear this bar on this song with me and this person. So it's like I
yeah,
have like this like hunger to do like bars like that. Like even at the battle last night, I got a lot of props for doing that. Like I talked about the people in that hosted the battle. I talked about the brands that were there. I talked about
right,
the studio. Like I try to like I feel like that always keeps me inspired because it's always like a spark of creativity. Like, oh,
yeah,
you could do this right here, right now. This is like the only opportunity. So you got to take it. You got to go full force. Burroughs is the only other person that I'm gonna be able to rap about and flip his name into all the five
yeah,
New York boroughs. So I gotta go in and I got to name drop all the teams and I got to find a way to put all of them together. So, that was like a big opportunity, like for me to just like, it gives me like joy just being able to like connect all the dots like that. So that was definitely a lot of fun for me.
definitely, bro. I really do appreciate your passion in the music game in the hip hop because not a lot of people have that passion. A lot of people just do it just to do it as either a
Definitely.
hobby or it's elementary bars, which is,
Hmm.
it's cool, but I'm not looking for all that. I'm trying to
Hmm.
look for some high school and above bars. We're going
Definitely.
back to the analogy of, the levels.
Hmm.
But like I'm saying, bro, I appreciate
I appreciate it.
it.
Yeah, it's hooping at the rec, and then it's hooping in the league. Is each has its own merits, and there's some good in it for everybody. But it just depends on where you want to go with it. I feel like if you want to get to the league, it's only what 400 people that ever get to the league, and it's how many people play basketball in this country. That's thousands on
Yep.
thousands. So if you want to reach that level, you got to push yourself and push your pen and push your creativity and your art and your skill and all that to like the furthest extent possible.
Definitely.
Mhm.
So we already discussed your battle that you did the other day.
Mhm.
What other battles that you have that's coming up, other events? We already know we're going to get to your project that's going to drop soon, which
Mhm.
I'm waiting for. I want to
I
hear the
appreciate
bars,
it.
you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
But what else events that you got coming up?
I definitely, I definitely try to hit up the open mics whenever I can. So, that's I'm always on this on the search to for different ones in the city. I know a lot have been popping up recently post pandemic. Like when I first started getting started, like pre pandemic, we had like a ton going on. A lot of them shut down. So everyone's kind of coming up with new ones, and like the old ones gonna start back up again. So I'm usually at the open mics. So if anyone's ever trying to catch me there,
Right.
you'll see me there. So I'm usually at the open mics, and then I got a couple other shows lined up. I still got to get the details yet before I can announce them, but
Got
I'm
you. Got
excited about those. Just trying to build up with the open mics, and hopefully I can get on some of those bigger stages, some bigger crowds, and just have more people come out. Just so I can. I love my favorite thing about the shows is being able to connect with people and just like
yeah.
whether if it's another artist or just someone who goes there as a supporter. It's always a great experience to talk to other people and kind of learn where they're coming from. So those are always fun experiences for me, and I think in an age of like digital age, a lot of people are going to tell you like, oh, if you're an artist, spend all this time on the internet, I understand, and I know you got to do a lot of the content, a lot of the social
Social
media stuff,
media.
all that. But I think
Yeah.
there's something with like face to face, person to person value, even if it's not face to face, just like direct contact. That's just like makes you
Yeah.
like a fan and makes you like have that belief in somebody when you can see it like in front of your eyes. So I feel like that's like a big reason behind why I'm trying to get out and perform a lot. So I have a lot of fun ideas, especially with the new music. That's what I was waiting on. Just once I start getting these like ideas out, I want to have some new stuff to come with. So definitely a lot of stages I'm trying to touch. So I'll definitely be posting about those pretty soon.
Got you. Got you. Trust me, I'll definitely repost it because as someone who's from Vegas, I want to support everyone who's every artist out there. So that's something that I will definitely do. But anything you want to talk about your new music?
Yeah, definitely. So I got some new music coming out May 18th.
Yep.
I've been working on it for a while. Probably since before the last project dropped. So I've been holding a lot of this in and just trying to find out creative ways again just to tap into like how I can be creative with the rollout and stuff like that.
Right.
So I think I got like a pretty solid plan. I'm pretty excited to get it started. So I got May 18th is gonna be I got a little EP coming out. So I have this. I've kind of told this to everybody over the past year, so they're all just waiting for me to get it started. But it's like we live in this again, coming to the attention span I was talking about before. Everyone's saying instead of full projects, you got to drop singles all the time. So it's singles. That's like
Yeah.
what everybody says. And, I understand to an effect, but at the same time, I also I'm a project artist. That's what I love. I love like if I get introduced to somebody, I love being having like a body of work I could sit with and like I could just listen to in parts. So it's like for me, instead of like kind of maybe like falling into the trap or just like conforming to what everybody else is doing, I'm just trying to do something
Right.
creative. So I have like a full project pretty much ready. So what I'm trying to do with the project is I've broken it up into 3 parts. So
Okay.
instead of like anyone like having to sit down and listen to the full thing just off rip, I've broken it up into 3 parts, and each of the 3 parts has like a meaning behind it. I'm
Okay.
doing rollout, I'm doing like documentary stuff, shooting some stuff, music videos coming with each one. So I got like a lot of like cool stuff aligned with that. So it's like it was
Yeah.
kind of like a creative way for me to like kind of do like a shorter form of a full project while still being able to build up to that final project at the end. So it's gonna be a series of EPs. I got the first one coming out on May 18th. The title is going to be called Sense. So SENSE. Because so I'm gonna give you this is gonna be the breakdown of like the final project at the end. So the final project at the end is gonna be called Sensing Change. So the idea behind that
Okay.
idea behind that is because I feel like I'm at this stage and I feel like a lot of people when you get to this stage it's a little bit of like a tough period when you get past a lot of your first. If the last
Yeah.
project was like my first, you kind of like, okay, where do you go from here? You kind of feel a little bit stagnant. It's kind of like a plateau. Like how can I like, because like people are not like still looking at you as like a new artist. Like you don't have that like spark about you. Like because when you're first starting, you do as much as like people, you might not have as many people in your corner. People are still going to be interested, like, oh, you're new, oh, what are you going to come with? So once you get past that stage, you just are kind of like in this like this like a void almost of like, oh, what's going to come next? And it's just like the whole project is just about feeling that feeling about, oh, what's going to come next, and like feeling stuff about the change. So I think that's where I got the title Sensing Change from.
Okay.
And funny again, when we're talking about layers, it's
Yeah.
sensing change. So like another interpretation is sense and change, as in CNTS and change. So the object of money, so
You're
sense and
right.
change. So like having that double layer, and then I have a song on the project that actually talks about that. So I feel like that was another level to that. So
Hmm.
again, getting into the EPs, I broke it up into, it's going to be the first two EPs. The first one's going to be called Sense, and the second one's going to be called Change, and then it's going to lead up to Sense and Change. So again, sense and change. So
Change.
like the two EPs put together with
That's
you know some
clever.
some songs kind of stringing everything together. So I once I like had this idea solidified, I had all these songs, so I wanted to figure out how to connect them. So the first one, Sense, that's going to be dropping May 18th. This one is kind of like me going off my senses and being, just
Right.
doing what's true to me. And it's like it's just bars, it's heavy rapping, and it's like it's three styles of rap. That's what I'm like kind of running with. It's like all the beats are in the same like kind of like a sonic realm, in terms of like they're all like kind of like these darker beats that have like
Okay.
either faster tempo or slower tempo, but they're really like hard hitting, and it's just like
Hmm.
three different ways to rap over them. So that's the idea with the EP. I thought it was like
Okay.
something fun. It kind of allowed me to be a little bit creative with that. So that's going to be what Sense is about, and then Change is going to be me about exploring a little bit more different styles and a little bit more different sounds, working with different people. So that's going to be that little EP, and then Sensing Change is going to be bringing all that together with some extra tracks that kind of
Right.
make it a full project. Because I'm a big person, like when I think about projects, I think cohesiveness is a big thing, and how sequenced and how everything bits, kind of like functions together. Because I don't like just like a collection of songs that kind of don't mean anything, or there's no like connection between them and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
really that's kind of like some people drop like every week, every month. I really like taking my time with that, so I can get that final product. So that's what I'm aiming with at the end. So then I've been waiting on it for a long time. I've been
Right.
holding it in, trying to get stuff out. So I'm excited to finally, May 18th comes around. I'm gonna be dropping more, snippets, and then I got a music video coming out that week as well. So everything's gonna be, really exciting. So I'm really excited to talk about all that.
Yeah, man. I'll definitely stay in tune. The people definitely be staying tuned. And I love the creative vision behind it too,
Hmm.
because not a lot of people, just have that foresight as much as you do. So I love the creative vision with the three projects. They're all intertwined with each other, because I feel like you got to do something different to step out. And even
Definitely.
if you're there alone on that ledge, it really doesn't matter. And one example is like J. Cole, right? They were telling him like, hey, you need to put a single out, you need to put a
Mhm.
single out, you need to put a single out. He don't even put singles out
Ever.
anymore. He just, well, right now he does a shit ton of features, and they
Mhm.
just did a Dreamville drop.
Yeah.
But like he was like, like I'm not even gonna promote an album coming out. I'm just gonna drop
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
And like he promoted like a
Yeah.
day and then
Yeah.
drop it, and that
Mhm.
shit goes platinum.
Super
Go figure.
inspired by that. I know,
Yeah,
it's
man.
amazing like how he was able to pull that together. And it's like, because you kind of gotta earn that. You gotta earn that like
Definitely.
respectability from like the people who support you. Like, okay, if we check this out with no single, with no idea what it's gonna be, is it gonna be like meeting our like expectations? And he found a way to exceed it both times he did it. So it's like, that's definitely a super big inspiration to me.
Oh, definitely. He is by far my favorite artist, but
Hmm. Definitely.
to me, he's a legend in the making. No one can tell me anything different.
Hmm. Full same page completely. Biggest inspiration.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, we've been on for a minute. Do
Mhm.
you got any social media you want to shout out real
Yeah.
quick?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere at JAG_GATZ. That's and on all streaming platforms on JAG space GATZ. So you can find me YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. You can find me everywhere. Connect with me if you're rocking with the music. Let me know. I'm always down to talk about my music. It's probably my favorite thing to do. So this is a very, very, very fun time for me. I really love this platform. I'm really excited to see where you go with this. So I'm definitely going
Thank
to
you,
be in
thank you.
tune, be supported, and see all the links you take it to. So I'm really excited to get this new music out, and hopefully I can come up
Yeah.
here again. And I love the fact that we talked for so long, because that means we had a lot to talk about. So
Oh,
yeah,
definitely,
you definitely
definitely.
got into it. So I'm excited to do this again, man.
Oh, definitely. We got to do this again, man. And
Mhm.
I'm excited to listen to your new music. And trust me, like I said, I'll be staying tuned, keep my ear to the ground. And yeah, man, we can get up out of here, bro. I appreciate your time and
Mhm.
all that.
Most definitely. I appreciate you so much for this platform. This is really like a really dope platform. I'm really excited to see, all the
Thank
different
you.
people you have come on this, and the links you go with it. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. I appreciate the love, man.
Mhm.
But all right, my lyrical heads, we're gonna get out of here. So like, comment, subscribe to Lyrical Minds. Until next time, deuces.
Yes, sir.